What's going on, everybody? Polynation here, and I just wanted to give you a small update, I guess, on my plant health. Since the move, I lost a lot of plants. Those of you who know me know that I recently moved from the big city into a much smaller city, possibly even a town. So there's one of the lights I have set up. Right here is a pineapple plant that's about 18 months old, and I literally chopped the top off a pineapple and put it in a 5-gallon bucket, and it's easily 3 feet tall. Apparently, it takes 2 years to get any fruit, but if you look down inside there, still tons of new baby leaves. Those 2 little things down there that I've never seen before, but perhaps maybe that's where the pineapple will develop from. I don't know, I've never grown a pineapple. And this plant is one of the most low maintenance plants. I mean, it can go periods of time without water. I just watered it yesterday, but that was probably maybe the second time I've watered it since I moved, and that was over a month ago. And this is one of the other plants that survived the move. It's a house plant, money tree. But there's something very interesting happening in this pot that I didn't expect, and I think is pretty cool, or fascinating at least. And I'll take you in for a closer look in 1 second. Okay, so there's a backstory with this plant. When I got it, it was not obviously in a 5-gallon bucket, which you can see has no holes, no drainage, which tells me there's probably bigger rocks in the bottom to help with aeration in the roots. Whether or not I screwed up there, I don't know. But that being said, since about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks of being here, I noticed all this brown. That's usually meaning that something's wrong, and I'm not an expert by any means, but if anybody out there can tell me what they think that is, it looks like it might be some kind of a deficiency. But at the same time, if you look closely in there, there's new growth. So I don't think it's terminal, whatever's going on here. But upon closer inspection of the soil, I found these. And I'll give you a closer look at those in a minute. Those are, in fact, mushrooms. So, how did those mushrooms get in there? Well, when I transplanted this plant into the 5-gallon bucket, I had some spent mushroom cakes. It's a very low-tech method of growing mushrooms. A lot of different kinds of mushrooms can grow on these cakes, and you get, 2, possibly 3 harvests off of these cakes, which are basically just made up of brown rice flour and vermiculite. Okay, now these cakes got neglected after I was done with them. They dried out, and I decided it would be a good idea to crumble them up and put them in some soil and see if it had any health benefits for the plants, like, maybe it's some kind of food source or something. Anyways, I didn't expect anything to happen. I just thought, rather than throw out the cakes, that I would just crumble them up and mix them with some dirt, and I thought, it would be at least a beneficial thing, if not completely harmless. So, but what ended up happening was, mushrooms started growing, and these are only about 3 or 4 days old. I gave this a heavy watering yesterday, so there's also a patch around here somewhere that you could visibly see like very healthy mycelial growth. I may have covered it up, I'm not sure. That wire work there that you see is from a very good friend of mine, Brian. Brian Cannot Tell. Check out his YouTube channel. He's going off grid, and he's actually doing it and it's pretty cool to watch. So shout out to Brian. I'll give you a closer look at these. Now, here's the thing, okay? I'm pretty sure I know what kind of mushrooms these are, but the original ones aren't yellow. These ones are quite obviously bright yellow, and I don't know why. So either they're not the kind of mushroom I think they are, or something happened in this soil that's turned them yellow. I have no idea why they would turn yellow, and that is very perplexing. If anybody watching this may have any information as to why these mushrooms, which are usually white stemmed and brown capped, are all completely yellow, I would be much appreciative if you could educate me on as to why something like this would happen. Or it could be just the wrong kind of mushroom. I mean, it could be a kind of mushroom I've never seen before. But I'm pretty sure I know what. I mean, the shape, everything looks the same except the color. So that's something that's kind of cool, I think. So I'm going to let them grow. It doesn't appear as if it's going to kill this money tree. But, I mean, let's see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted on this. Also, if you're still watching, I appreciate it. I would like to send out an apology. Last night's open mic on KBS Discord, the recording failed, and it's because it's a mistake on my part. One of those stupid mistakes that, if you just miss one box to uncheck or check, you can basically mess up the whole recording. But that being said, last night's show, if you were in Discord on KBS Discord server, it was a fantastic show. Shout out to Lydia Bell. That was an amazing conversation. I look forward to having you back, and I'm apologizing profusely that I did not get that episode recorded. It shouldn't happen again. So, with that being said, everybody try to stay as bright as you can. I know stuff's getting kind of crazy again, so hold on to your butts. Polynation, PPP.